We've been following this season. Basketball Wives started off really strong. I don't know what happened. I feel like we've lost some storyline. It's just gotten confusing and it's become very dull. You can even see it on Twitter. Like, we're just not engaged in this season anymore like we used to be in the beginning. And that's unfortunate because we were going for broke watching this, okay? Everybody was invested. It was all over my timeline. Now I can barely see a Basketball Wives tweet. That's not good. Hopefully it picks back up in Amsterdam. We will see. But anyway, let's get into this review. Bravo, Shawnee. Secure the bag at all costs. Listen, I'm not pro pusher, but if you can do it legally and really flourish, have a great time, especially if you are a black person. I feel like the black community has been ravished by, you know, just drug laws, specifically drug laws concerning the selling of marijuana. There are black men and women still in jail today, still in prison today for, you know, like a dime bag or whatever, or just any reason related to marijuana. And it's just so bothersome because everybody is making it legal and you have people sitting in jail for something that's legal. And my thing is, if you're gonna make it legal, free the people first and let those who lost their lives because of it rebuild because of that. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that Shawnee is getting into it. I'm not saying she was a victim of marijuana or whatever, or, you know, of the prison system with marijuana, but I'm all for a black-owned marijuana company. I'm for it. Sell it, do what you have to do, get into it, profit off of it legally, make it popular. Teach other people how to do it, especially in low-income communities that have been ravished by that. So like, I'm not into it, right? It's not for me, but I am pro-entrepreneur all day. I'm not pro-pusher, but I'm pro-entrepreneur, and I'm pro-entrepreneur from people who were once very harmed by the selling of marijuana to get in front of it and start making bank. No shade there. Get it. I think this is a great idea. I love that she is pushing it and using her show as a platform to get her business out there. This is what I always say. If you're going to get on reality TV, have something to push. Create something that will allow you to secure the bag, several bags, because of this platform. Because if you're going to be on reality TV, unless you are producing it, you are going to look like a fool, which is why the only person who does not look like a fool on this show is Shawnee. She looked like a fool the first season with them Govan sisters. After that, never again. She learned her lesson. Secure the bag at all costs. I'm not hating. Now, Shawnee, I know that you are a very open mother and your kids know a lot about you, but what you're not going to do is act like you don't know how to vape weed. Sis, you're not fooling nobody. Nobody. Playing all coy. Oh my goodness, what am I supposed to do with this, girl? You took one puff and was struggling. The second one, she was a pro. Girl, bye. I'm so disappointed in CeCe for sending that text to Kristen. Like, you knew good and well that would hurt her, and you did it to get a reaction. Bravo, you got a reaction out of Kristen. You just hurt her feelings, and now she exposed you to the rest of the group. I hope it was worth it. She's seriously too old to be so childish, and I feel bad because I feel like I was duped by how she perceived herself on camera. Seeing CeCe on camera and then reading that text from Kristen, I would have never thought that that came from the same person. Really disappointed, CeCe. Really disappointed. It's very clear that Tami wants to end it with Reggie because he wants kids. And I don't think that's ever going to go away. And I think she just wants to get out of it now, save herself the heartbreak so that she doesn't have to deal with it later, because I think she said that she's turning 48. And it's like, at this point, not now, but you know, you're gearing up to become a grandmother. You're gearing up for the second century of your life. You're not trying to be nobody's mother unless you're Janet Jackson. Unless you're Janet Jackson or Bridget Nielsen. Like, ciao. It would never be me. Like, I couldn't. So I feel like she's gearing up for another stage of her life where she wants to settle down. And I think this always happens in May-December relationships. You have one partner who is in a totally different season of their life and the other partner who is in a totally different season. One partner is revving up for another fruitful part of their life, and another partner is revving up to kind of rev down. And it's just, they're unequally yoked in that aspect. The love is there, but they're just not equally yoked. And I think she sees the writing on the wall and she wants to get out of it before it hurts too bad. Y'all, Zell got on my nerves this entire episode. He was just negative for no reason and messy. And I hate the fact that Malaysia co-signs that behavior. Even her confessional, Zell's, you know, he's just making an observation. He's horrible. He's horrible. He's being very negative and messy. And at the end of the day, even if he's a sassy gay, he is still a man. It does not look cute on you to be in this group of women and you're coming in and just being very negative about another woman on the show. Like, you don't, it doesn't look good for you, Zell. It really doesn't. And I know you're trying to make a name for yourself in the reality TV world. This isn't the way to do it. This really isn't, because you're just not likable on camera. And you bring a show that is already, no shade, can we be honest, after Evelyn threw that bottle, this show went to a certain kind of low. You're bringing this show lower than that. I didn't think it was possible. But with his presence on the show, it's just like, it's just ugly. I hated every scene he was in because he was so negative for no reason. Can we get back the guy that coined booked and busy? Where is that at? If you're going to be on this show, don't be messy. Don't be a stereotype within entertainment on these freaking shows. When they hire a gay cast member, they want you to play a certain kind of stereotypical bamboozled gay man. Don't be that. Be interesting, be funny, be coining terms, be booked and busy. Do something like that, and you may have a different reception on this show. But coming on, talking about Jennifer, who is not there to defend herself, it's just, I don't know. I didn't like it. How did y'all feel about Zell? He made me so uncomfortable. I hated every scene he was in, and I hated the fact that Malaysia co-signed his horrible behavior. Regardless of how we feel about Jen, she is a main cast member on this show. What Zell is not going to do is to come on this woman's show and try to drag and berate her. Absolutely not. Leave that for the other cast members, not you. You are a friend of the show, so you gotta walk lightly. And I don't like the fact that the woman, even if you don't like Jen, y'all should have shut him down, because he looks horrible. In Malaysia, if you're his friend, you would have done something to really, I don't know, cultivate his look on this show, his persona on this show. Like, she just didn't help in any way. It's just, Zell is Zell. What kind of friend are you? He looks like a fool. Since we're on Malaysia, let's talk about this, what is it? I forget, what is the word? The clothing drive. I love that she's doing that. And that's one thing I can say about Malaysia and Jackie. They have consistently, every season, used their platform in a way to magnify an issue. Or Evelyn started doing it this year, but Malaysia and Jackie come to mind because I always feel like they are giving back or using their platform on this show to give back to a disadvantaged community and bringing light to an issue that is currently happening right now. And I applaud her for that. I really do. I think she's such a sweetheart for doing that, because this was, I don't know, I think it hit me in a different way. For me, it's obvious from somebody who has watched this show from the beginning. This has been something that Malaysia has consistently done. Like, she's always doing something like this, something charitable every season. But to me, it hit me a little deeper. It hit me right in the heart. Like, it was a good scene. I love watching it. I love the ladies coming in and getting help. But for me, it got my heart. Like, I was tearing up watching this because I was there. You know what I mean? I was somebody who didn't have housing, who was going to an interview and did not have any clothing and needed something like Dress for Success, which is another organization that gives women business attire so that they can go to interviews, people who are in need. And so organizations like that, or just charitable things like that, that really make a difference. I don't know, this just got me, because I'm like, man, I was not too long ago. You like when Tami said you are a paycheck away from this situation, it's so true. It's so true, because not too long ago, that was me reaching out for help. And I'm not ashamed to say it, you know what I mean? I'm just thankful that there were organizations like this, or charitable drives and events, or people who wanted to give back, just using their platform or their space or what they have as a way to help another person. Completely thankful for that, because if I didn't have those, if I didn't have people like that or organizations like that that I was privy to, I don't know where I would be. So that just really, really got me, and I applaud Malaysia for doing that, because it does help. It does help. From somebody who has benefited from a clothing drive, listen, it helps. And we're back to Zell being awful, because he contradicts himself, right? He says, OG comes, she doesn't bring anything. I get Malaysia being a bit perturbed. Zell, who the hell are you? Like, why do you care? You came there to help. That's what you were supposed to do. Why are you sitting there talking about OG? Why is Malaysia and Tami sitting there laughing at you being very negative? He says, well, she was going through a lot and she had a lot of issues, so she brought that negativity and everything that she went through, she brought that here to this event. You don't think that you're doing the same thing by talking negatively about OG, spreading all of that negative energy around, then trying to harm her with the whole, oh, I just want to take pictures of the people who actually brought something. Like, she knew that he was doing that because she kept on mentioning it. It wasn't funny. It just looked horrible. It looked very poor because this was a charitable event. Like, this was to help the less fortunate. So the same energy that you're saying OG is bringing, you're bringing even darker energy to something that's not about you. So for you to make something that is supposed to be very selfless about you says a lot about you, and it's not good. So I totally had a problem with him doing that to OG, who, to me, guys, I'm gonna be real with y'all, she looked like she'd been through it. And I felt like it was a lot of other things that she was dealing with, because you also have to realize she just lost her brother. So she probably had one of them moments where it's just like, I know I gotta come here to film, but she probably got herself together at the last minute and showed up to film this scene. Because when OG walked in there, I didn't think she was lying about just everything that was going on with her, because she looked like she had been through it before she walked in. And I'm not going to drag her for this wig, but OG, I will say this, right? I will say that this is the best look on her. I think natural hair looks better on OG. Those straight, shiny synthetic wigs don't do her any justice. Like, it's a totally disservice for her. It doesn't look good. This natural hair wig looked really cute. I wish she would have pulled it up a bit, because when she had it pulled so far back, it was a little George Jefferson. Just a taste. So I just wish you would have pushed it back up, maybe gave it a part or something. You gotta, from somebody who has a forehead, okay, I understand the struggle. That's why I part. I don't pull it back all the time because that's too much face. So she just gotta learn how to work it. But I feel like if she comes back next season, OG will get it together. But I could not go through that scene without mentioning that wig. Sorry, OG, I have to be fair here. But Zell is still horrible, and what he did to you was not right and not fair. And Malaysia is just as horrible for co-signing that. Because even still, she came to help your event. She didn't have to show up at all. She still came to help. I felt like she was doing the best she could, but to me, she looked like she had went through it before she got there, and she was just trying to save face, trying to keep on pushing. But I felt like she was crying in the car before she got there, but she just looked, shaken up by something. And speaking of hair, this is one of the best hairstyles I've ever seen on Shawnee in my entire time watching this show. This braided hairstyle and the jet black parted down the middle, straight weave looks so good on her. But this braid hairstyle, I think whoever did her braids did a phenomenal job. It fit her face perfectly. It didn't look like it was too tight. The braids hung down in the right way, like really, just really blessed her crown. She looked great. I love this look on her. It was so much better than the tie-dye braids. Never did it for me with her. But this look, perfect, Shawnee. Whoever did that, stick with them, girl. They know how to make you look cute. Not like it's hard to do, but I'm just saying, this look really worked for you. In the words of CeCe, I am emotionally exhausted. I am emotionally exhausted from the CeCe and Kristen storyline. You two have to talk and just get it over with. Either talk or fight. Do something. We're tired of it. They are going around talking to everybody else about the situation but each other and sending nasty text messages. I don't care. And I feel like Kristen is in a really tricky place because she wants to tell her storyline, you know, tell her truth with her being on this show. I get it, but I'm like, getting into this, Byron hasn't seen his granddaughter and the mother-in-law was a lot better than CeCe. I'm like, I don't see this going over well for her. I don't see her husband watching this and being okay that she said that about his father on national TV. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just, I get that that's her storyline. I totally understand, but you can't play with family issues, especially with these men. Black men are sensitive. They might not show it to the rest of the world, but they damn sure show it at home. Play Uno with a black man. Play spades with a black man and see how serious it gets if he don't get a full deck. I'm that black person that don't know how to play spades or dominoes. And I like pumpkin pie. Sue me. Just when I thought that Tami figured it out, she gets drawn back in with Reggie. Oh, also, if you've seen Yellow Nails, please forgive me. I was juicing some turmeric and it just got all over my hands. I forgot that I need to wear gloves when I'm juicing because I'll have yellow nails. So I'm not tacky. I'm just, you know, getting healthy. Anyway, I thought Tami got it. I thought when she was talking about breaking up with Reggie and allowing him to move on, I thought she got it. But Reggie calls this dinner and he says, well, you threw me for a loop, but I'm too in love with you to break up with you. I want to keep it going. As the older person, you should have set him free. Because this is the thing, Tami, you're going to get your heart broken. Reggie, him wanting kids is never going to leave him. Talk to anybody who has been in a relationship with somebody or even in a marriage, okay? And they are with somebody who says they don't want kids. And they're hoping that this person is going to change their mind or that they can convince them to change their mind. I know of a couple where the girl did change her mind from not wanting kids. The resentment is so strong because she's feeling like she's giving up a part of her life to appease her husband. So this is what I think is going to happen with Tami and Reggie. If they get to the point where they get married and they go for the long haul, he's going to have a problem because he's going to start resenting her for him not having children, because that's something he really wants, to the point where she was even having multiple miscarriages and he was telling her to try again. That means he really, really wants kids, and I don't think that will leave him. I don't think he loves you that much. And not saying that he doesn't love her, you know what I mean? But wanting to have a child is huge. Wanting to, you know, have an extension of yourself on this earth does not leave you, if that is something you desperately want. Also, not wanting that does not leave you. And people think that your love can convince somebody to go more to your side. Maybe that works with politics. It don't work with children. Personally, I would want her to get out of it now to save herself the heartache, because Reggie is going to want kids. He's going to want kids, and it's either going to be him resenting you when you're in the marriage and when he gets older, or him getting a side chick pregnant and having you accept the child because you love him. And I don't think he'll be cheating because he's angry or mad at you. It's his desire to have a child, and that is not going to leave him. So I'm like, girl, get out of it now. Save yourself the heartache. Just get out of it now where it won't hurt this much, because him leaving you or getting somebody else pregnant, that's going to hurt even more than you can fathom. And you've been through that already with your ex-husband. Don't go through this with somebody who you know loves your funky draws, okay? A man that will drink your bathwater. I know you feel like you won't be able to find that kind of love again, but it's much better for you to let him go and live the life he wants and deal with the heartache now than get in the relationship and go deeper and get, you know, and get stronger and fall more in love with him down the line, and it don't work out because the desire for wanting children is not going to leave him. What if his family and his mom starts asking him about it? You know what I mean? Like, especially if he comes from a big, like, it seems like Reggie comes from like a big Southern family. They are big on children. You know what I mean? You wanting a child, man, that's a strong emotion. And you just can't rip it out or just put it to the side or pat it down because you feel like this love is stronger. And it's the same for people who don't want children. So Tami, sis, it's gonna be hard, but you got to do it. I think you got to get out of it now, because I just don't think, and he hasn't said that he doesn't want kids. Like, he hasn't said, oh, it's okay, just having you is enough. He said, this love is so strong, I don't want to end it. So that's putting the onus on you to end it. He didn't say, it's fine, I don't ever want to have children, I'm good, you is enough. He never said that. And you got to be specific with your words. So sis, I don't want to tell nobody to break up something that's good, you know, but I just, that dude gonna want kids, and I think it's going to be an even bigger problem later down the road. Anyway, that's where it ends. Next week seems like it's going to pick back up because we'll be in Amsterdam and it'll really get juicy again. We are going to get a part next week when Evelyn pulls a Tami and crosses the line with CeCe concerning her race. Twitter is going to be ablaze for that one. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you next week for the mess. Love y'all.